volume 3.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Gonna clean my room until I get high.
You think you know me?
Outside my door. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile. You're all I've ever wanted, and my arms are open wide. 'Cause you know just what to say.
And you know just what to do. I couldn't help myself, okay?
Yeah. Fuck.
That damn song has been in my head for 2 days because I was frustrated. Every morning I listen to Sports Talk WIP to get the latest of Philadelphia sports. And I was frustrated with what they were talking about. They were really pissing me off. So I decided to switch and just start surfing through stations because I don't listen to any other stations, so I don't know what to listen to. And I think I didn't want to listen to 99, the Hawk, or I didn't want to listen to B104 or whatever, or anything of that nonsense. So I'm just scanning. I just keep hitting the scan button.
Right.
And I come across that song, and it had just started.
Okay.
And so I stopped. And what made me stop was I remember that music video. All right.
Okay.
And if you haven't seen it in a long time, it's on YouTube because I looked it up. It's there. And it's there. And it's basically Lionel Richie. He's like teaching an acting class. And one of the students in the acting class is blind.
Okay.
And she's a beautiful girl. And so he sets up a scene and he says, okay, I want you to ask Amanda here out on a date. But from the context of you've been in jail for like 10 years. So a lot of things have changed. So when you come out of jail, now you got to try to figure out what people do on a date nowadays. Things might be different, blah, blah, blah. So then it goes into the song because he steps away from the scene while they're doing the scene and he looks at her. And the first thing he says is, I've been with you alone inside my mind. And I'm just saying that's the first lyric of that song is, I've been with you alone inside my mind. And in my dreams, I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. I don't know that song just resonates to me. I think I might have sang it once or twice to get laid back in the day, but I don't know.
Quite stalkerish.
It is, if you think about it now. It's really crazy. Right. Thinking about that.
I'm not wearing any pants, so here we are.
Full disclosure on Alan Spit. I'm not either. I got a blanket on. Of course, nobody's watching us anyway. They're going to be watching this on replay because any normal person sleeps in on Saturdays.
Fuck yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk real quick about this interview with Meghan and Harry because I know a lot of people watched it. I think it was something crazy. Like it had more people watching it than watched the Super Bowl. It was insane.
Okay.
All right. And that's because, of course, you had a large number of Great Britain watch it because they want to know what's on their mind. And They want to know their version of the story. And then you have Americans watch it because it's Oprah, right?
Right.
And I mean, Oprah comes on once in a blue moon now. I mean, I know she has her own network,
Mm-hmm.
but when Oprah does an interview nowadays, like people want to see it. And the fact that she was doing Meghan and Harry, I'm sure there were a lot of people interested in like what's been going on with them. Oh, they left the royal family because a lot of Americans hate the royal family and they think that they're
Sure.
uppity, old-fashioned, snobbish, rich,
You're not
whatever.
wrong.
Right. And so they have a bad, you know, vision of what the royal family is like. And then so here's people that left the royal family willingly. Ooh, let's see what they have to say. So I watched it with that context in mind. I'm thinking to myself, I want to know why Meghan and Harry left. Was it Meghan? Was it both their decisions together? Like what went on there? Because I didn't know. You only know you see in the tabloids and social media, and most of it's fake. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, I hope the song Hello from Lionel Richie is stuck in your head for the rest of the day.
I'm blocking that shit out, bro. I'm not doing that. Fuck no.
Not I'm not speaking to you directly. I'm saying like everybody else that's watching this. But the finer point, I'm not going to get into the whole interview, but the finer points of it were, and this is amazing because Megan did not get paid for this interview.
Okay.
Okay. First and foremost, she did not get paid. And the only person that she wanted interviewing her was Oprah. The funny part was that Oprah was invited to their wedding over there in Great Britain. It was a big deal because Prince Harry was getting married. It was a big deal. But not only was it a big deal because Prince Harry was getting married at all, but the fact because he was the most eligible bachelor in the world, but the fact that he was marrying a woman of color
Mm.
was unprecedented and a big deal.
Right.
And now let's be clear, Megan is half and half, but she looks more black than white.
Okay.
But and she's very, very beautiful, very beautiful. And but she, you know, and she was an actress and things like that. But um they met, they fell in love, and the royal family embraced it at first because they didn't think it was gonna go to marriage. And
Right.
then once it got to the point where they were getting married, they had a choice whether to embrace it or whether to just kick Harry out of the royal family. So they actually had to sit and weigh the options of whether or not, you know, which press would be worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, would it be worse if they kicked him out because of she was a woman of color, or would it be worse that they embraced her because a lot of people over there are, well, for lack of a better term, racist? And I'm not saying the Queen is, because in the interview, Meghan speaks very highly of the Queen. That the Queen herself was always very nice to her.
See this face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
She's probably racist.
Oh well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what Meghan said,
Right.
basically. But everyone around the Queen, Prince Charles, the security, like all the people that live and work in Buckingham Palace, treated her differently. She felt that from day one. She never felt comfortable there
Mm.
from day one, and she was convinced in one way or another it was because of her race. That being said, her feelings got confirmed when someone, and it wasn't revealed in the interview who, but someone close to Harry told Harry that his son, who was unborn at the time, would not be a prince because of how dark he may or may not come out. Like those actual words were said. That was the beginning of the end. That was where, when Meghan heard that, that's where her depression started. That's where, like, she had suicidal thoughts. And Harry was watching this happen and watching the same kind of black sheep of the family, for lack of a better term, mentality that that's how his mother was treated too, because Diana wasn't like them. Diana was too nice. Diana was a humanitarian. The whole world loved Diana because Diana actually cared about people. God forbid. God forbid she didn't care about being a princess. And look what that got her. Got her killed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's what Harry was worried about. Harry was worried about Meghan getting killed or her killing herself. So he picked up her, he packed their shit and got the fuck out of there, and they moved to Canada. And they stayed with a friend, and he was still Prince Harry for a couple of months or something like that. And then all of a sudden, either the Queen or somebody, it must have been the Queen, got tired of them living in Canada and wanted them to come back to Buckingham Palace, or you are no longer a prince. And I guess his dad, Prince Charles, agreed with that, like backed his mom up and said, yeah, you either come back to Buckingham Palace with your wife or you're no longer a prince. So he renounced his throne. He renounced his titles. She renounced being a duchess, blah, blah, blah. And basically they said, fuck you to the royal family. So then they moved to LA, and Tyler Perry took them in because he's a friend of Meghan's. And he took them in, and then while they were getting on their feet, they started up a company named after their son Archie, and now they're on their own, and now they live in Santa Barbara, and they're Americans.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. So we have a prince in Santa Barbara.
Nothing that you said is going to make me care any more or less about the situation.
I know. I understand that.
Oprah, and I get why Oprah probably did the interview, because she's probably trying to put the spotlight on how racist the royal family is. Why don't you use some of your power to put the spotlight on all the shit that's going on right here?
Good point.
You know what I mean? Like,
so switching gears, how do you feel about the $27 million settlement for the Floyd family?
Not enough.
It's not enough.
No.
They took it.
They did.
They had to settle on. They could have said no.
Right.
Did they say no because they thought they wouldn't get more, or did they say yes because to them no money will replace their family member, whether it be his brother or whoever, but
for a grieving family, I think probably they just wanted it to be over.
Right.
Because like you said, there's no amount of money that can replace a loved one.
I think $27 million is on the low end, but I don't know. I don't know what was offered. Like maybe that's not out there. Like maybe they offered less. Like maybe they offered maybe they offered 10 million and they were like, fuck you. So I don't know.
If you assassinated one of my family members on national television, 27 million is not going to cover it. There's not going to be a price that, you know what I mean? Like I said, you can't repay death with money. That shit just doesn't equal out,
Yeah. So, There's that, and I guess there's going to be a trial now,
Yeah,
and that starts like soon.
I think it started 2 days ago.
Right.
Started 2 days ago, and
So,
I'm of the belief that he should get what he gave. You handed out a death sentence like you were the judge, jury, and executioner. I
is
believe.
that what they're going for?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because in reality, if they're going for him to be punished to the full extent of the law, um, it's most likely going to be argued by his defense that he didn't mean to kill him. It wasn't premeditated.
Okay, well, it still happened, no?
Correct. What I'm saying is that usually when murder in this country is tried, there's two different kinds of murder. There's more than two different kinds, but
Right.
the
So,
main it's first degree or second degree or manslaughter.
right,
So they'll most likely get manslaughter. And the difference between the three is first degree is you planned it, you carried it out. Second degree is you killed somebody, but you didn't plan it out, but you put them in a situation where, in other words, say I held a gun towards you. I didn't plan on killing you, but the gun goes off and I kill you. That's not manslaughter. That's second degree murder.
right,
Manslaughter is I'm driving down the street in my car. Somebody walks out between two parked cars and I killed them.
right.
So here we have, I think we have the second degree murder thing where he put him in a position where he could die, but he didn't plan on killing him. So
I think
that's where the gray area is as far as seeking the death sentence
I think
goes.
it's I think that officer's face spoke a whole different volume than the charge in which he's getting.
Right.
So,
Right. I'm just saying that that's where it's going to be tricky when it comes to public perception of it because they're
right,
going to because no matter what happens in this thing, I mean, this thing's going to be as big as the OJ trial. It's going to be like people are going to be watching this shit on TV unfold because it touched a lot of different people many different ways.
right.
And then there's people out there, there's plenty of people out there that can give two shits about it too. Just like you said about the whole Meghan and Harry thing, you could give two shits. There's a lot of people that could give two shits about that. But I mean, I only mention it because it was watched by like
Oh, for
7 million,
sure.
7 million people.
Right. And I know why people tune in. That's a lot of people watching something. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there's so much other stuff that goes on right here in our country. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, I mean,
people,
Oprah does things like just to stay relevant. She's getting old. She's got she's the richest woman in the world. So I mean,
if you are the richest woman in the world, why don't you fix Flint's water crisis,
there you go. I mean,
which you're clearly capable of doing?
not that I'm defending her, but she does give a lot to like all kinds of charities.
Sure, I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm 100%. You
But
know
she kind of picks and chooses the ones that she cares about
exactly.
more. You know what I mean? But it's I get your point though. There's only so much money she can have, but like
Right.
but she's like with that kind of power, like you said, comes responsibility.
Great responsibility.
Sure. Did you get your
That was
stimulus yet?
that was 20 minutes that I'm never getting back.
I'm sorry. What did you like
No,
to
no,
talk about?
I'm completely okay with it.
Oh,
On to the Biden bucks.
go ahead.
I did not get my Biden bucks yet. Did you
You did
get your
not.
Biden bucks yet?
I did not.
I didn't even check, to be honest with you. So
$1,400. It seems like,
Good hush money.
yeah, like we're about to raise this and that, but don't mind us. We're just gonna give you $1,400 so you can cope.
Right, right. Here's a little lump sum of money, 5,600 for a married family that's got some kids, whatever. You know, it'll
Like
help.
mine,
Right,
like
tax time.
I have 3 kids here, and me and Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna be $5,600 for us.
Lobsters and scrimps for a while.
At least for my birthday dinner, for Christ's sake.
Yes,
I could take lobster for, yeah.
I'm thinking we should go out to dinner on the night of the thing on the 27th.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to announce it on here because it's not public knowledge yet. We do have one person watching. It's probably a family member.
I don't know who it is, but usually on the computer I can see where they're watching. I can't do that on the phone.
Right.
Like I'm curious sometimes if I have one, like sometimes I'll have 20, so I don't give a damn. But if I have one, I'm curious as to whether or not they're watching us, on YouTube or any other thing. But in this case, we're YouTube exclusive, so what the hell am I talking about?
And that's probably why yours is so much more professional than mine. You're so intentful to the little details. I don't give a fuck.
It's not. The thing is, you already had a following before you started.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so once word got out that you were doing what you do, now people tune into you just because it's you. They don't even care. They don't even care who you're talking about or talking to. They might care by the end of the interview, but
Right.
in the beginning, even if they don't know the person that you're talking about or talking to, they tune in because it's you. I've been jealous of some of the people that watch your show that don't watch mine because they're members of my own family.
Well, I mean, to be clear, and our family will see this. I'm the favorite.
Well, we know that's wrong on both of our counts when it comes to
False.
Matt.
False. Matt is definitely the favorite.
Yeah, right. But like I've seen Caitlin watch your show. I've seen my cousin-in-law Ashley watch your show religiously. I've seen my mom watch your show religiously. And I'm not talking about Around the Turnbuckle because Around the Turnbuckle is wrestling, and I understand that's not everybody's cup of tea.
That's the niche lane,
But fucking Home Team Sports is funny as shit.
It is.
And we have a good time doing it, and the guys and I'm adding guys to the cast, not just Harry. I got more guys that want to be involved, so that's awesome. I'm excited about it.
I think Harry's a great pickup.
He's very knowledgeable with sports. It's safe to say he's more knowledgeable with sports than wrestling. And I think that he just did the wrestling thing just because it was me and Keith were going to do it anyway. And he was like, hey, why not? Let's do it. And he does know a little bit, but he doesn't know enough. But about sports, and I'm not just talking, he knows football, basketball. He follows the NBA religiously, baseball religiously.
Right.
I know that my forte mostly is football. I rely on those other guys to give me the rest of it because I just started getting into the NBA the past couple of seasons because of my son. And lo and behold, the Sixers are actually good. So I'm like, cool. I can root for the Sixers.
Did you catch my interview with Stress on Wednesday night.
I saw bits of it. Yeah,
At the end, he's a supreme Philly fan.
cool.
He's got 700 level tattooed to his forehead.
That is,
I shit you not.
I believe it. I believe it. That's awesome. That is so cool. Um, I haven't gone that far with Philly sports, but as
You
you
know,
know,
not to
I'm
cut you off, but with your head the way it is, you should get it tattooed like Bam Bam Bigelow.
like the fire coming right here.
Fuck yeah. That'll boost the ratings, bro. Dang.
But wouldn't they call me Bam? I mean, like Bam Bam.
You don't gotta get fire necessarily.
What
You
am
can
I
get like
gonna
an ocean. Get like water.
What am I gonna get that's cooler than fire? For lack of a
Water.
better, huh?
Water. Get like an ocean scenery. Like a shark coming out of your head. That shit would be fire.
Yeah, I guess.
What puts out fire?
Much like you, I'm not the least bit concerned with ratings. I do admit that I'd rather have 10 people watching me than one,
Right.
but I don't need 1,000 watching me versus 10. That's
Yeah,
not.
I don't care.
If that happens organically, great. And it might come to a point where you and I, we get, try to come up with ideas to increase ratings and maybe monetize everything.
Sure.
It wouldn't hurt. I mean, you and I both have jobs that we love, and I say that sarcastically. So, like, so I mean, having some side money it would be fantabulous. If you and I could do this kind of thing, I mean, if you ended up, especially you, like if you ended up being like, Joe Rogan status or whatever.
Joe Rogan.
Huh?
Joe
What?
Rogan.
That's what I said.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. There you go. If that ended, that would be the biggest thrill of my life because I had some kind of hand in it. That's to me.
You're probably gonna sue me for the royalties for the name.
No.
I just need a quiet 73%.
I would. I would just want like a credit, like in the end of the show, be like produced by or created by, whatever you want to put in there. I don't know. But that's just me. So what else? I did say.
Can we talk about J-Lo and Kim Kardashian are both single for the summer?
Wow. That blew my mind. And I first heard it on the aforementioned WIP, that because they talk about sports, right? And A-Rod and J-Lo. It's funny because they were going to get married in 2020. They had not set a date, but they talked about in 2019. Somebody asked them, they were at a function, and somebody asked them about it was the Super Bowl. It was the Super Bowl. They had parties before and after the Super Bowl. And a reporter asked, because she did the halftime show, and a reporter asked them if they set a date. And A-Rod said sometime in 2020. And she nodded and said, yeah, sometime in 2020. Then COVID hits. And they're like, fuck 2020. We got to wait because we want to do it big because they're A-Rod and J-Lo. So they waited through 2020. Then 2021 rolls around. And I don't know the details. I don't know why they split up.
Right.
But engagement's off, just like that. So
COVID, they were probably locked in the house together and realized they didn't really like each other too much.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what That's exactly what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I swear to God, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, and then you got the Kardashians.
Well, that that was coming. See, that's the thing. That's not as much of a shock,
No.
to me. To me, either party's so full of themselves. I didn't see how they were able to stay in the same room, let
Yeah.
alone, you know what I mean? With A-Rod and J-Lo, they look genuinely in love, unless they're putting on a front. But they look genuinely in love no matter where they were.
Right.
The way they looked at each other, but like Kardashians, they just I don't know. I've never been a big fan of them at all.
Me neither. For nothing.
Not Kanye either.
I liked Kanye's music when he first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. I think, all kidding aside, I think Kanye musically is a genius.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we got to see like that mental side of him,
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't putting out music at the pace he was before he became married with children.
Right.
He didn't have that outlet. So then he had outbursts.
We're gonna end this with I have one question for you
Okay.
because we've hit 30 minutes, and we like to
Okay.
keep these with spitters to 30 minutes. But did you see Coming to America?
Part one?
No, part two.
No.
Don't. Um, listen, die hard fans of the first movie will appreciate the nostalgia of the fact that they brought back the entire cast. And when I say entire, I mean all of them are back.
Okay.
But take that out.
Oh shit. Joe Frazier's in the building. Let's give a special shout out to a Lewis Street native, Joe Frazier. He was down at the other end. AKA Blanket Jackson.
What's up, Joe? All right, so there are people that liked it. I saw online, I saw on Facebook some of the wrestlers that I've made friends with actually did like it.
Right.
I'm just watching it and I'm like, why? Like, why is this happening right now? Like, why? Like, the story is ridiculous, and I don't know. It's just like, Eddie's Eddie, but it's not even close to being funny or as funny. There's no, there's parts of part one that people quote to this day.
Right.
All right. That's not going to happen in part two. There is no line in part two that wasn't the same as part one that sets it aside. You understand?
Yeah, fuck him. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's regurgitated part one. It's just they're 30 years older. Sexual chocolate. Yeah, even sexual chocolates even shows up, which is fine, but I mean it was nice that sexual chocolate was part of it, but we've already seen sexual chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not indulging in that at all.
Randy Watson. And yeah, like I said, if you're a diehard fan of that first movie, then you're like, this is awesome.
Are
if
there
you're not,
any movies coming out that you're looking forward to?
the new Batman.
I'm looking forward to the new Godzilla King Kong.
Yeah, so Shango. Shango wants to see that one too bad. He's a big Godzilla guy.
I'm a big King
Yeah,
Kong
it might be good. I'm going to give it a chance. Every time there's a Godzilla or a King Kong movie, I got to give it a chance. So it should be interesting.
Right.
The Batman, and this one's called The Batman,
Uh-huh.
is going to have Robert Pattinson from Twilight as Batman and Bruce Wayne. So everybody's like, oh, that's going to be bad. I want to give the kid. I want to give him a shot. I think he can pull it off.
Well, we'll
You know what I
see.
mean? You
Well, we'll
know what I
see.
mean? You got to get the vampire, the gay shiny vampire thing out of your head, and focus on the fact that he's an actor and he could play other parts too.
Gay shiny vampire. Oh, they canceling you after this episode. There'll never be another shooting the shit with spit again.
Can't
Cancel
cancel it. Cancel me.
it.
Yeah,
Cancel it.
the cancel that whole canceling thing, the whole cancel culture. I can't stand it. I can't stand it at all. I'm sorry, I can't.
Why is Woody Woodpecker still running around?
But Pepe Le Pew is canceled because he's a rapist. Come on, stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. There are things, I get it. There are certain things, extreme things, that
Right.
we should not be teaching our kids that
Mhm.
might have been taught to us.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. We need to change that narrative. We need to change that the way so we learn from how our parents taught us and we teach our kids differently, and hopefully they teach their kids differently and so forth, and things start to change. Fine. Long after we're gone. But changing cartoons that have been around for 70, 80 years is not going to change nothing.
Man.
So you're not going to erase Pepe Le Pew from my brain. I remember Pepe Le Pew, and I always will remember Pepe Le Pew.
He was an aggravated sexual predator, Alan.
That's all the French culture had. French culture, they have souffle and Pepe Le Pew. You know, you take Pepe Le Pew away, you take half of their culture away. Now all they got is souffle.
They got French fries, bro. Don't do that.
French fries are American.
Can I have a Royale with cheese?
A Royale with cheese.
I need your top 5 long-haired bands from the 80s and 90s. And then we'll go.
Okay. Are you still going to ask me these questions when we do the Raw podcast?
I got different questions for you for the Raw podcast.
If anybody hasn't checked out the Big Alboski Raw, before I give my answers, if anybody hasn't checked out the Big Alboski Raw podcast, go on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, or go to anchor.fm and check out, or even go on my Facebook page. You can find it there. Check out my Big Alboski Raw podcast. I've done, I think, 7 or 8 episodes at this point, and I randomly talk for 20, 30 minutes about whatever's on my mind at the time. So check it out. Give it a check out. Coming up, episode 9 or 10, whichever one we're on, is going to be that guy over there interviewing me and asking the hard hitting questions. And we're gonna record it now, but I probably won't drop it till later or tomorrow morning. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but did you see Joe's comment, Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Caitlin. Oh, I'm ready. Oh, see, now Caitlin does listen to the Raw podcast.
But let's be clear, I'm Caitlin's favorite uncle, so she's always going to tune into anything I do.
Oh, so that's why she's tuning in, because you're going to be the one asking me the questions.
I'm just happy to be here, bro.
Okay, but that's what you just said. All right. top 5 long-haired bands in my head. Okay. I'll start with Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Bon Jovi.
Your niece said leave her out of this fight.
Yeah, sure.
Now Uncle Alan's mad as shit right now.
Yeah. Aerosmith. No, she's a loyal listener to my podcast. She loves my podcast.
Oh,
so
for sure.
She was listening before this, but now she's even more gonna listen to this particular episode. So who'd I
All
say?
kinds.
Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Def Leppard, and I wouldn't consider them a long hair band, but Metallica.
Okay.
But I wouldn't consider, because when you think long hair bands, you think about the guys in the '80s, that really rocked out the '80s. If you,
I got some names for you.
yeah,
Skid Row,
okay,
Poison.
pour some sugar on me.
That's Def Leppard.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Every rose has its thorn.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And then Guns N' Roses.
As long as you don't say Faith No More, we can still be friends.
They had that song Epic.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
it.
it. What is it? This
Right.
is it. What is it?
You're right.
Jesus.
And is
I'm
Nirvana
about to
considered
control this
a
recording.
long-haired band? Because I don't think so.
Who?
Nirvana, because they were more '90s. They were more into
No,
grunge.
they were grunge. Grunge.
Okay.
Listen, we're out of here though. Shooting the shit with Alan Spit. We got other things to do right now.
40 minutes.
You're out of control.
All right, I'm gonna sign off.
You were Meghan Markling it up for the first 17 minutes.
I love Meghan Markle, but I love the fact that she's now an advocate for suicide. And if you know anybody that's suffering, call that suicide hotline. I don't have it ready. I'm sorry. I'll put it up tonight's episode of Around the Turnbuckle, the suicide hotline. We're gonna end it with
Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Gonna clean my room until I get high.
You think you know me?